Welcome back to the Mayorverse, everybody. Mayor Reynolds, aka Midnight Mayor here. Today's video is all about explaining the vehicle gameplay in DEADROP that's being implemented in DEADROP Snapshot 7, which releases on October 20th. A lot of people have seen the teasers, they've heard about the driver's keys, so on and so forth, but this video is explaining how the gameplay loop works and, understanding the vehicle gameplay in DEADROP going forward and in Snapshot 7. So here we go. So the footage you're seeing on screen is actual in-game footage and gameplay of vehicles in Snapshot 7 of DEADROP, but this is how it works. So the actual vehicle segment in DEADROP, once you leave your player hideout, so in the future there's an actual player hideout, which you're going to be able to roam around, interact with NPCs, so on and so forth. There was a firing range in the old versions of DEADROP, the old snapshots in that area, but essentially it's your pre-game lobby that you can roam around, get ready for your if you want to call it a raid, the actual FPS experience, the vertical extraction shooter experience that is DEADROP. So you equip your loot and then you start your match. So the first thing that's going to happen when you start your match is this race to the tower. Midnight Ride is one of the terms that it's referred to as. And that is how your player, after you leave your hideout, your character, so to speak, is actually getting to the tower to conduct the raid. If you've played Marauders, it's similar to that setup. You have to, in Marauders, you had to drive your spaceship through space. You could shoot other players. There was minefields and such, and then dock at the space station. This is similar to that, but amped up to 11 and much more stylish and much more DEADROP, much more Midnight Society, Dr. Disrespect. So with all the other players who are in your match, so right now, for example, the maximum player count is 30. There will be 30 people racing to the tower, to the sector that you want to go in, because in the future you'll be able to choose which sector you want to go raid. So for example, if you're going to Sector 3 cold storage, you'll be racing other people in your vehicle to get there. And the point of that is there's an actual point to it. Not only is it cool gameplay, but there's various entrances to the sector. So, spawn points or areas. And to get to the spawn area that you want to get to, you have to drive your car to that particular entrance and then beat the other players there. And each entrance has a maximum number of players that can spawn in each area. So for example, you don't want 20 people spawning in the exact same spot of the sector. So once enough people reach that particular entrance, it will close off, and then the remaining players still racing on the road will have to go to other entrances to get into the sector. It's just a little fun little piece of flair gameplay, which is going to be customizable in various ways in the future and in Snapshot 7. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you equip a pistol or an SMG in Snapshot 7, you will be able to shoot other cars, potentially blow them up. And Midnight Society confirmed that this does not mean that you don't get to do if you get blown up, you basically just respawn on the road. You don't lose one of your lives that you get in DEADROP right now. You get 2 respawns when you're in the tower raiding. Dying on the highway doesn't impact that. So basically you're racing other players one way or another to get to the tower, get to the sector you're about to raid, and get into whatever entrance you want to go in. Maybe you want to try to spawn somewhere where you have high ground. Maybe you want to spawn somewhere where there's a high chance of particular collectibles spawning. There might be a variety of reasons why you might go to a particular entrance, but that's the point of the race, and which actually has combat involved as well, other than the fun, stylish aspect of actually driving cool cars and through a very dark, gritty city, and more of that in a second. So in case you're wondering or you're still not clear, no, you will not be driving a car or a vehicle within the sectors of the tower within DEADROP. Once you're in the tower, once you're in your raid, once you're in your FPS experience that you probably recognize as DEADROP, and you're not going to be driving a car through Sector 3 cold storage or Proving Ground 2. It's not like PUBG, it's not like Warzone or anything like that with the in-game vehicles during the FPS experience. It's a separate section of your raid. Vehicles will also be enabled in DCM, DEADROP Creator Mode, during Snapshot 7, so creators will get to play around with vehicles and experiment with them in their own modes and custom games. But in the future, there'll be even more stuff that's possible as DCM and the overall creative mode, UGC mode that is DeadDrop expands, right? So eventually down the road, when we have map editors and all this other stuff, you'll be able to do even more with vehicles in DCM, like potentially make your own custom tracks, like race tracks, for example, or create, whole custom experiences based around vehicles, environments, and so on. But you can actually utilize them in DCM and the creator modes in Snapshot 7, the first version of which I just did a whole video about. If you want to know about DeadDrop Creator Mode, go watch the video. It's on the channel. It's actually the video right before this one. So there's been a lot of talk about customizing the car, and there's going to be more of that in the future. We get the first iteration of that in DeadDrop Snapshot 7. There's several packages, limited time packages, that you can purchase right now in Snapshot 7, which give you custom license plates, vehicle wraps, and there's one exclusive actual car model called the Lonin, which is associated with the Dr. Disrespect package. I'll pull it up on screen right here, and hypothetically, these are never coming back. It's a limited time cosmetic, but the Midnight Society said they are interested, or open to, I guess I should say, bringing back these cosmetics in the future if the community actually wants that. They're not 100% decided, but in general, they're limited time packages that are only going to be on sale for about 2 weeks after the launch of Snapshot 7, and they're already on sale now as well. The Dr. Disrespect car is called the Lonin. That is the model, almost like Ronin, but with an L. And then the base car is called the Gallus. And if I look at some of the other packages here, everybody gets a Gallus. Everybody gets the base vehicle model, but there's other packages available for purchase now with optional cosmetics. These packages also include access to the game if you don't yet have access to the game. And these include, again, custom license plates, but also vehicle wraps. And what the wraps are going to be is obviously there's a skin for your car. It makes it gives it a particular look, color scheme, all that. But you don't have to buy a wrap to make your car customized. There's already been paint cans in the game, and that's part of customizing your car as DeadDrop moves forward, is getting loot within the tower, stuff for your car, getting in, doing a raid, finding those items to conduct your car, extracting with it, and then you can customize your car. If your car gets blown up during the vehicle portion of the DeadDrop vertical extraction shooter experience, you don't lose the car, you don't lose the vehicle wrap or your paint can or whatever. You just respawn. There's no permanent loss of anything, but there's more customization likely coming down the road, which Rob talked about today. Let's take a look at that. So Rob, straight up during the AMA today, somebody else at Midnight Society asked if they could tweet a concept that they did earlier for car customization, and he's just like, yeah, go ahead. And then literally a couple minutes later, they tweeted this out. They do plan to, down the road, allow for more customization of the vehicles. And again, these will be parts most likely that you find in the tower, and then you can then modify, make the car model actually modular, and really make it fit your own personal style. And there'll be more pieces of vehicles that are not only cosmetic, as in change the color of this, change the color of that, or the what's the word I'm looking for, the texture of it or whatever. You can actually, as you're seeing on screen here, down the road, not in Snapshot 7, this is a concept for their plans for the future. And I also obviously imagine they're going to have more actual car models, styles of vehicles, I would imagine. This is planned for down the road. So hopefully everything makes sense now. The vehicle segment in the core game of DeadDrop is kind of like the very first thing that you do. It's kind of like your pre-game. You race to the tower, you race other players, you can shoot other players and other cars and their vehicles, you can blow them up. It looks really fun, and that's in Snapshot 7. Once you reach the tower, you're to whatever sector you want to go to, whatever entrance, the normal FPS extraction shooter gameplay that we've been experiencing and that most of us probably know as DeadDrop so far starts from there. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have questions about how vehicles work, obviously let people in the Midnight Society Discord know, but you can also leave them down below. I personally can't wait to see more and more vehicle models in the future, and I did a video on the channel about potential classic cars that could maybe show up in Dead Drop down the road. Stuff like our 1970 El Camino from Midnight, our live action Dead Drop series, and short film, which you should totally go watch if you haven't yet after you're watching this video. So thanks for watching, guys. Tons more Dead Drop content coming. That's what this channel is all about. Subscribe if you want it, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Mayor Reynolds out. This video is sponsored by HumbleBundle.com, one of the best gaming stores on the internet. You can get games, software, all sorts of digital tools on this website at discounts, some of which are in bundles. So, you know, you buy it, the more you buy, the less you pay kind of thing. If you use my link down in the description, not only will you get great games at great prices, but you'll also support my channel and content in the process. So check out Humble Bundle, and thanks for sponsoring us, guys.